Hey guys, Jennifer Dixon here with Yoga East. See or hear some dogs, I apologize for that. And I actually have the windows open today. It's really kind of nice, but I've also got it open to design so that I can keep a ear out. We have some baby chickens. Yes, you can make fun of me. And my boxer is exceptionally curious about the baby chickens. And so in case I have to run off and pause the video for a short amount of times, it is for the safety and security of the baby chickens in my care. So today's flow, I thought I would introduce you guys to Ashtanga Yoga Therapy as taught by Manju Jois, who is my teacher. It is a combination of primary, secondary, and advanced posture, so first, second, and third series. It is approachable to people of all different levels. I want to have a little bit of a caveat here. You modify what you need. So chaturangas are very, very, very difficult. They can lead to a lot of stress on the joints. So modify them, skip them. You don't have to do them all. You make the yoga practice suit your physical needs for your day, or your life, or however it is that you're feeling. And so the reason why I chose the Ashtanga Yoga Therapy Flow today versus just doing the primary series or any of the other ones is my knees have been bothering me a lot lately. And some of the primary series poses with the lotuses, the padmasanas, have been really tweaky in my knees for some reason. And so I've been backing off of them and trying to move into other things like back bends and things that are offered more in the second series, and core strengthening, which is some of the third series things like Vashisthasana and Visvamistrasana. So if this is a little unusual to you, or if this is something that you've never seen before, keep an open mind. It is fun. The point of a yoga practice is to make you feel better, is to heal you. The Agni, the fire that we build with the Ujjayi breathing, that is to help purify you from the inside out. The physical postures, the asanas, just help build upon the Agni that's there. So you combine the postures in a way that is meaningful to you under the tutelage of a teacher. So the sequence that Manju's taught, I've trained with him for several years now, and this is something he's very passionate about. But you'll notice that in some poses, I might stay longer than 5 breaths, and that's because I'm dealing with a herniated disc in my L5 rather, my low back. And so there are a few poses that I should hang out and just breathe with, and that is just to help to create some space and some stability and strength. And you'll notice those, and I will call those out as well. So I welcome you to join me in today's practice. I'm going to be doing what Manju Jois calls Ashtanga Yoga Chikitsa, or Ashtanga Yoga Therapy. Welcome along, follow along, and let me know what you think in the comments below. So let's come to the tops of our mat, toes together, heels apart, hands down to the side. This is typically where in a studio they would do an opening chant. I'm not going to do that today, but we can spend a few moments and a few breaths just grounding yourself, getting the shoulders down and away from the ears, belly button to spine. That's that Uddiyana Bandha, that tailbone lengthening down to lift the pelvic floor. That's that Mula Bandha. Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, walk, step, jump your feet back, high plank to low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. 5 breaths here. We're going to inhale, come forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your side. Samasthiti. Surya Namaskar A again. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Belly stays in. Exhale, plant the hands. Walk, step, jump your feet back. High plank to low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. 5 breaths here. Nasagra, oh, excuse me. Oh my gosh. Uddiyana Bandha, that's the belly button to spine. Pelvic floor up. Mula Bandha. Your gaze can be down at your nose or to your belly button. Nabhi Drishti is belly button. Nasagra Drishti is down your nose. Let's come forward on an inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, let's come all the way up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Let's do that again. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhaling up. Exhale, down dog. You'll notice that I don't jump back that terribly often. That is because I'm still working on building mobility, no, not mobility, strength in my abdominal muscles. And so if I jump back right now, I don't control it enough. So all the weight comes into my elbows. And I'll be honest, I don't want my elbows to hurt. So let's come forward, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, let's come all the way up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Let's do another Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, prepare, so half lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Walk, step, jump your feet back. High plank to low plank. Inhaling, up dog. Exhale, down dog. I'm not saying you shouldn't jump back. It's kind of fun. I'm just saying, me personally, I am still really, really concentrating on building stability and strength in my upper body because I compensate and my low back takes it personally. And then what happens is I collapse in these smaller joints. And so I'll jump back occasionally, but the goal is to float back. So not much jumping, more floating. Let's inhale, come forward. Exhale, fold. Let's inhale all the way back up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Now I want you guys to focus on something. This has been brought to my attention at my most recent training with Manju. A lot of times we're hearing this thing being taught where we come up with this flat back. Now if you guys saw, that was like my booty was sticking out and my low back was taking all of that. So that can be low back pain. That can give Ashtanga a bad rep. And I'm really bad about doing this. So in my last time, instead of coming up here with this supposed flat back, Manju suggested coming up with a more natural back. So that would be utilizing these glutes a little bit of a rounding, but you'll find when you do that, there's no pressure here on the low back. So that might look a little different than what you've seen, but for me, it's been amazing with my practice in my low back pain. So let's do another Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Walk those feet back. High plank, low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. 5 breaths. Ujjayi breaths. Big, deep inhales and exhales through the nose. Let's come forward. Forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, Utkatasana. Sit down low, reach those hands up high. Fingertips reaching towards each other. I'm going to hang out here, although traditionally that's not what we practice. I like to do it because it builds a little more heat. And this is a home practice. You can make this practice yours, right? So let's do one more. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Move through your vinyasa. So that's this high plank, low plank action. Inhaling to up dog, exhaling down dog. Plant that left foot down, right foot comes forward, warrior one. I like to stay here again just to build a little bit more heat and to check in with the body. Pinkies are reaching towards each other or your hands are clasped. Let's do one more breath. And then vinyasa. Inhaling to up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right foot plants, left foot comes forward. Warrior one on the left. Reach those hands up high. Maybe the hands touch. If that causes a lot of congestion in the shoulders, it's okay. Open up the shoulders. Make this practice feel good. It should feel good. It should feel like a little bit of work, but it should also feel good. One more. Awesome. Plant those hands down. Left foot back. Vinyasa. 5 breaths here. Let's come forward on an inhale. Forward fold. Inhale, Utkatasana. Stay here, exhale. One more inhale. Samasthiti. Now we're going to move with breath. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, vinyasa. Inhale, right foot forward, warrior one. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale, down dog. Right foot comes forward, warrior one on the left foot. Woo! Exhale, vinyasa. Sometimes it's hard. Those left and rights, man. Get you every time. 5 breaths here. So if your heart rate is starting to move up a little bit, use this opportunity. Use your Ujjayi breath to slow everything down. Let's come forward. Try to slow this jump down if you can. Half lift, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, Samasthiti. Nice. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, plant those hands. Move through your vinyasa. Left foot plants, right foot forward. Warrior one. Vinyasa. Up dog. Down dog on the exhale. Right foot plants, left foot forward. Warrior one. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhaling to up. Exhale, down dog. All right, let's come forward. Try to slow this jump down if you can. Half lift. Forward fold. That's like a little bit of extra Utkatasana, extra ab work when you slow down that jump forward. Samasthiti. Now we're coming into Padangustasana. Hands to the hips. Jump your feet hips width distance apart. Inhale, head up. Through your belly and pull yourself down. Belly's in. Inhaling half lift, release the toes, slide those hands underneath the feet, Padahastasana, gorilla pose. Give those wrists a nice little massage as you pull yourself down here. Try to put a little bit more weight into the toes. If your legs aren't straight, that's okay. If your hips aren't over your ankles, that's okay. One day, all that will come. Just keep practicing. All right, inhaling, release those feet. Exhale, hands to your waist, belly's in. Inhale, come on up. Remember, use your glutes to come up, not your back. Jump those feet together. We're going to take a medium-sized step to the back of the mat with that right foot. Reach the hands out towards the right. Set them down. Try to grab that big toe if you can. Left hand's reaching up high. What's not going out is that belly. So we're sticking the belly in, opening up the chest towards the right. That chest is trying to be open. Your hips are trying to be stacked. Your shoulders are trying to be stacked over this right ankle. And your gaze is trying to look up towards the left hand. If that's tweaky in the neck, you can look down. Let's do this one more breath. Now, slight bend in the knee to help get you up. Other side, Wamabaga. That's like my favorite word ever to say. I'm going to shift those hips back. Reach the left hand forward. Try to grab the left toe. If that doesn't happen, you can hang out up here. You make this practice yours. So, again, hips are trying to be stacked. Shoulders are trying to be stacked over that left ankle, left foot. Gaze is trying to look up to the right fingers. If this is hurting in the low back, remember that pelvic scoop, that belly button in. One more breath. All right, inhale, let's come on up. Now I'm going to go straight to the revolved triangle. So rotating those toes back to the back of the mat, working to square the hips off if I can. Reaching that left hand forward. It's going to go onto the inside. Ultimately, you want it on the outside of that right foot. Right hand's going to reach up. Try to give the wall a high five, right? So my gaze is looking up towards the right hand. I'm trying to get my hips to be a little more square. I'm trying to bring the back of my head, like if I had a ponytail, towards the back of the room. All right, inhale, come on up. Exhale, let's do the other side. I like to pull my left hip back to encourage this squareness. Tilt my tailbone down, reach the right hand forward, set it down, ultimately on the outside of that left foot. I check back in with my hips, make sure they're not getting all funky, and then I reach my left hand up to give the wall a high five. And again, remember, we're trying to lengthen the spine. So if you're rounding towards the left, try to bring the back of your head towards the wall behind you. All right, inhale, let's come on up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Now we're coming into extended side angle. Inhale, big step to the back of the mat. Step one, you're going to have a 90-degree angle in that right knee. You can leave that right elbow to the right thigh, left hand's reaching forward. You're ultimately trying to put that right hand to the outside of the right foot, left hand reaching forward. Now, did you guys, well, you probably couldn't see because Ruger's there. Suck your belly in. Gaze is towards those left fingertips. Really push that right knee into the right shoulder. All right, inhale, come on up. Let's do the other side. Sink into that left knee. Remember, you can do this left elbow to the left knee, right hand reaching up. Or you can reach down, try to get your left hand to the mat on the outside of that left foot. Really opening up, pushing that left knee into the left shoulder. Gazes towards the right fingertips. Belly stays in. Try to keep your chest open. All right, push down into that big toe on the left. I'm going to go straight into revolved extended side angle. So, lots of ways to get in this. We can come up into a crescent lunge. You can come down to the left knee to help get through the twist. bring your hands to your heart center, left elbow to the outside of that right knee. Now you can stay right here, or you can plant that left hand down to the outside of the right foot. Now stay here, right hand comes up, next and forward. Next option is to straighten that left knee. You can stay there, or you can come down more like warrior one feet. Revolved extended side angle. This should feel, I think it feels pretty stinking awesome. It feels like I'm totally wringing out my spine. But when you're new to it, it could be a little bit intense. Inhale, come on up, but I promise it gets better. Let's do the other side. So again, I'm going to demonstrate coming down to my knee, hands to the heart center, right elbow to the outside of that left knee. Now ladies, if you have real estate, that's okay. Remember, yoga was created by men for men, so they didn't have the same kind of real estate we did. So lift off that right knee. You can stay here, crescent lunge feet, or warrior one feet. Reaching the left hand forward. Now the gaze is towards the left fingertips. If that's a little creaky in the neck, you can look down. I have some whiplash injuries from old skiing accidents when I thought I was immortal. So sometimes my neck gets a little funky. One more breath. Nice. So inhale, coming up. Oh, big step to the front, Samasthiti. Nice. So now we're coming into the Prasaritas. There's 4 of them. Inhale, medium-sized step to the back of the mat. Toes are reaching forward, or they can be slightly pigeon-toed. Hands out wide. Now, lengthen through the tailbone, belly's in, forward fold. Bring those hands down to the mat, fingertips in line with the toes, and let the head hang. Now, you can try to work towards pressing your head into the mat, but Manju says you should always have like a sheet of paper in between the ground and your head. That'll help protect your neck. Pull those shoulders away from the ears. Now, if you're here and you're down at the ground and you're just hanging out like this is nothing, step those feet together. If this is ridiculously painful, bend the knees or take a wider step. Well, okay, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale, come up. Remember, use the glutes, so there might be a little bit of rounding in that low back. It's going to help protect your low back. Hands stay here on the hips. That's going to help to remind you to suck the belly in. Head up tall, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Now squeeze those elbows together. You'll feel a good stretch in the cross of the chest. And see if you can get your head down every bit as low as you did without your hands being down. This is just a little bit nicer of a stretch for you in the spine. You'll also feel this in the hammies. And I don't know about you, but my feet and ankles start to kill me right about. Inhale, come on up. The time that we start Prasarita C. So that's what we're doing. Inhale, hands out wide. Exhale, clasp them behind your back. Pull those hands away from your shoulders. Remember, re-engage here through the abdomen. Head up, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Now let those hands just go. If you've got super tight shoulders, your hands might not fall down as low as mine. That's okay. You're still going to feel it. Now, it's a really common to like cheat this out and rotate your hands and let them open up and fall. That kind of goes back to my theory of, are we really just searching for sensation, and do we really need to get that open? So yes, I can touch my hands to the mat. Do I do it every time? No. I just kind of hang out here and let my body enjoy where it is. Let's do one more breath. Mula Bandha, even here. Inhale, let's come all the way up. You'll notice I have a slight bend in my knees when I do that. That will help to get the tailbone down so that my glutes do the work lifting me up and not my back. Hands out wide to a T. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Grab those big toes with your peace fingers. Preparing here. Now pull yourself down. So those palms are facing each other. Your biceps are really working. So pretend you've got tickets to the gun show today. I don't know. Get the biceps showing. This is a lot of work. And if this is really easy for you, so this is a little easy for me, I'm going to step my feet in and pull myself down some more. All right, one more breath. Okay, inhaling to prepare. Exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale, let's come all the way up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Big step forward. So yeah, my feet kill me by the end of that one. It's awesome. Now we're coming into pyramid. So hands out wide to a T. You're going to do reverse prayer, fingertips down or up. You hear it taught a lot to grab opposite elbows, and that's okay, but I rarely ever teach that because if I give this one first, that's what everybody does because we're lazy as humans. If I give this option first, then everybody tries. And then once I see that you can't do this, that's when I offer that grab opposite shoulders. You try doing the reverse prayer fingertips down. You might surprise yourself today. Medium-sized step with the right foot to the back of the mat, really working on squaring yourself off here. And when you're ready, forward fold over that extended right leg. Inhale, let's come on up. Exhale, other side. So walk those feet into the opposite direction. Try to square yourself up, bellies in, forward fold. Inhale, let's come on up. And then big step forward, shake it out. Whoo, let the angels sing. My feet are talking to me. Okay, let's come into our Utthita Hasta Padangustasana. So ground down a lot through that right foot, right hand to the hips. Options, you can grab that left knee, or you can grab that left big toe. Extend that leg out if you can. I guess that'd be step 2 or 3, right? I'm going to forward fold over this extended left leg. Notice my left elbow is hugging into the left shin. That gets those biceps really working, helps to pull the center of gravity in. Now inhale, let's come up. Exhale, let's open up to the side. Now did you guys notice how my body moved down to my legs, not the other way around? So it's a little bit easier to get your nose to your shin when you bring your foot up to your nose, right? Your shin up to your nose. It's a lot more difficult to go down to the shin. All right, inhale, bring that foot forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, head up. Let go of that foot, exhale. Let's hold this here, 5 breaths. All right, shake it out. That right leg should have been talking to you. Okay, let's do the other side. So again, try to bring your body down to the leg if you're forward folding. I didn't cue this, but you don't want to open up so much that you're dumping into the sacrum on the left side. I'll cue it on this side. We want to try to keep our hips facing forward because that's going to build a whole bunch of strength in the standing legs glute. It builds stability here in the glute and the sacrum area, which is, you probably have heard from me say by now, what I focus on a lot. So yes, can I open up all the way? Yeah, but what is that doing? That's dumping into my sacrum, which equals low back pain over time. So ground down through the left, hand on the hips, bellies in, grab that right knee or the right big toe. I like to grab from the outside. It's a little bit of abs, extra credit. Pull yourself down. Inhale, head up. Exhale, let's open up to the side. Now check out my hips. I'm not going to go open so wide that they get all cattywampus. I'm trying to keep my hips square, left hip stacked over the left ankle, and just open so much that I can keep the left glute engaged. And if you see my left hand, I'm kind of checking myself out. And I promise you'll feel this if you've never done it this way before. Forward fold as you bring that leg forward. Inhale, head up. Exhale, let go of that right foot. 5 of the longest, slowest breaths of your day. Nice. Set that foot down. Shake it out. Now, that's working the hip flexors, but it's also working these abdominal muscles, which, as you know, I love to do. Okay, so ground down through that right leg. We're working on Ardha Baddha Padmasana. Lots of options here. You can do a half lotus working your left heel to your left belly button. If that's not in your practice, you can also do a figure 4. I'm going to try that half lotus just to see how my left knee is working today, and if it's not feeling awesome, then I'm just going to do a figure four. So I have to pick that left foot up. I've got some pretty meaty legs, so I have to get the calf out of the way. Left heel towards my belly button. Then I set that left hand down. You can hold that left foot with your right hand and grab hold of that right elbow, or you can work on this bind, which is the left hand wraps around behind it, grabs that left big toe, forward fold over the extended leg. Right hand's going to come to the mat, trying to get the fingertips in line with that right toe, the right big toe, and then you bring your head down, your nose towards your shin. This is one of those really great therapeutic poses for the sacrum, and my left knee is feeling a little tweaky, so I'm going to come out of this a bit and just do a figure four. You can hang out in any of these poses longer. There's no set rule for 5 breaths. Since I do deal with some sacrum and low back issues, I tend to hang out in this posture a little bit longer, and it feels amazing. Well, after a while it does. If you're first starting out, your piriformis muscle, basically all of your left butt cheek is on fire in the best sort of way. Okay, bend through that right knee, pull yourself up. If you've got the bind, try to hold on to it. And then set the left leg down, shake it out. Other side. So, ground down through the left foot a lot. If you're working towards the half lotus, go for it. Otherwise, you can do the figure four and fold forward. I'm going to check in with my knee today, see how it feels, see if I want to do the half lotus on the right. This knee hasn't been bothering me near as bad as the other knee. So left heel up high to the belly button. Let that right heel, right knee comes down. You can grab hold of the left elbow if you want for stability, or you can work towards that bind. Forward fold over that left foot, and then work those left fingertips in line with the left big toe. Head hangs heavy. I'm going to hang out here just a couple more extra breaths. Really trying to get that heel pressing into the abdomen. Nice. Okay, bellies come in. Use the left glute to pull you up. Maybe you fall over like the teacher did. Holy moly, bad teacher. Let it down. Okay, shake it out, shake it out. Hey, falling is a part of practice. So that's all I can say. Oh, we're going to do Vinyasa to Utkatasana. Toes together, heels slightly apart. Bellies in. Inhale, bring those hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, Vinyasa. Inhaling up. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, Utkatasana. 5 breaths here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, let's just prepare. Exhale, another vinyasa. Right foot comes forward, warrior one. 5 breaths here. Really try to sink into that right knee. We're going to straighten that right leg. See if we can rotate towards the left without looking down. Rotate towards the rear without looking down. Warrior one on the left. See if you can challenge your balance and not look down. It's hard though, so if you had to look down, totally okay. We all have places we're working on. Mula Bandha, lift that pelvic floor up. Belly button to spine, Uddiyana Bandha. All right, let's open up. Warrior two. Straighten that left leg. Rotating the toes towards the wall behind you, toes towards the front of the mat. Warrior two on the right. Let's windmill those hands down to the mat. Now, extra credit here, a little bit of bonus belly extra credit. See if you can pick up that right foot from here at the front of your mat without making a sound. Use your belly muscles and then set it down at the back of the mat. Woohoo, vinyasa. Okay, so this is where the fun begins, right? We're going to look between our hands and come to a seated position. If you can jump through, I encourage you to do so. Paschimottanasana. First we got to do some Dandasana. Hands to either side of the hips, sitting up tall. Uddiyana Bandha, Mula Bandha. That's that pelvic floor squeezing together. Belly button squeezing up and in. 5 breaths. Energy out through those heels. Now we're doing a Paschimottanasana. Inhale, exhale. Let's grab hold of the outsides of the feet. There's technically 3. I'm just going to do 2. Paschimottanasana A is you hold on to your big toe. Paschimottanasana B, you hold on to the thumbs in front of the big toe. Your hands are grasping the outsides of the feet, trying to straighten out your legs, straighten out your feet. You're going to find that this is super good for the outsides of those calf muscles. Now, go ahead and let your back round down naturally. I know that's probably contrary to some of the things that have been taught. This has recently been something that Manju's impressed upon me because I found when I was going straight looking up, it really creaked my neck, man. It was like my neck was perpetually hurt. But when I let it go and round subtly, my neck suddenly didn't hurt. Inhaling, half lift. Now we're going to go from A to B, so from toes to the outsides of the feet if you can. If your knees are bent, totally okay. B to C is where you bind around your feet. But if you've got that bind, try not to let your feet get all at an angle, right? We still want them to be trying to be, straight. So pretending to step into the wall in front of you. Let that head down. Now, if your knees are not bent, that's okay. If they are bent, that's okay. Inhale, let's come on up. I like to throw in a little bit of extra ab work because I'm 9 months postpartum and I still can't get the strength back that I used to have. It's baby steps, right? So, jumping back, do your vinyasa. Now we're going to jump back forward and come into reverse tabletop. Try to jump forward with control. Now, reverse tabletop A. Feet get planted on the mat about hips width distance apart. This is the modification. I call it A. It's not really A. It's just the modification for reverse tabletop. Fingertips pointing towards their hips. I don't like to say 6-9 inches. It really depends on your anatomy. So if you're a super tall, lanky person, you might be like super far behind. I am not super tall and I'm not lanky, so I'm a little bit closer. So step 1, you push into the feet, lift the hips up, knees are bent, trying to get the hips up in line with the shoulders and the knees. This is super great opening to the shoulders. You're working your back, body, that's that posterior chain, so the hammies and the butt cheek. This is just a super good pose for you, so I'm going to demonstrate both of them. Give us the opportunity to work on both. Okay, so that was the first modification. Now we're going to do the toes together, heels apart. I really have to work on my posterior chain, so this is why I like to do this one more than once. And you'll notice that when I do this reverse tabletop, I can barely lift myself up. That's because my posterior chain, I don't want to say sucks. My posterior chain needs some strengthening. Okay, so inhale, bellies in, lengthen through the tailbone, press down to the hands. Try to get those toes down to the mat, heels up, lift the hips up, squeezing everything. Let the head hang. One more. Nice. Oh my goodness gracious. Set everything down. I like to do another boat just because, again, mama needs it. All right, vinyasa. Now we're coming into Ardha Baddha again. So inhale, look between your hands, slow and with control, try to come forward. Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana. Left leg extends out. Step 1, figure 4, just like when we did the Adho Baddha Padmasana. Step 2, we're working that half lotus. So bring that right knee into your belly. Love on it, love on it. Set that right heel down. You can wrap that right hand around. Maybe it grabs your left elbow. Maybe it grabs your right toe. Forward fold over that extended left leg. Your left hand, if you've got the bind with the right, can reach for the left foot. The Yoga Mala talks about all the therapeutic benefits of this pose. Having that foot into your abdomen like this, suggest you get the book and read it. All right, inhale coming up. Let's take a vinyasa. Again, it's not typically thrown in a boat every time. I just need some boat work. All right, jump forward. That was really crappy. Okay, right leg out, left leg up. So this has been my foot that has not been super happy with me lately. I mean my knee. So I'm going to see how it feels to come into this Adho Baddha. If my knee starts talking to me, I'm going to back out and come to this half to a figure 4. So this is about where I can go. And then I start feeling it in my knee. So I'm going to back out of this, come into the figure 4, still work on squaring off my chest over the extended right leg, and you can still forward fold. So you're still getting the benefits in the back body here. You're still getting the benefits of the pose. Belly in, ujjayi breathing, burning up the inside, the fire. I just don't have my heel to my abdomen on this side because my knee is talking to me. All right, let's come up out of here. Boat. Bring those knees in if you're boating with me. Try to pick up something and then take your vinyasa. So no, I can't float. I've seen some videos of these like women that are just phenomenal, and that's totally my, what is it, life goals? Hashtag life goals. Jumping through to seated. Let's come to Tiryan Mukha Ekapada Paschimottanasana. So you'll notice that we've done the first 4 postures here of the seated position in the primary series. Manju suggests that those are the best ones to do because that puts your body in the north, south, east, west direction. So you're getting all 4 of the directional poses for your body. Try to get that right sits bone down. If it's not and you're leaning over a whole bunch to the left, I suggest grabbing a prop. I have this big beach towel, actually for the end, because somebody asked me to do some shoulder stands, so I brought the beach towel. You can use the fancy Mexican blankets that are at yoga studios. You can use a pillow. You can use your couch pillow. I don't care. What you're trying to do, if you're leaning over a whole bunch to the left, just shove something up and underneath the left butt cheek. So my right knee is a little bit tweaky for some reason in this pose. So I just sat up on the left cheek a little bit to forward fold. Now, if your left leg is extended out and straight, awesome. If it's bent, that's okay. If you can grab your left foot, that's awesome. I'm going to try to bind around and relax. All right, inhale, come up. Got to remove my little prop here. So, lots of ways that you can take your vinyasa from here. I'm working on trying to lift up, right? So I'm going to lift my hips up, slide that left foot back, and then move through my vinyasa. One day I'll be able to float it all. And it will be awesome, and we will all celebrate, right? Let's jump through. All right, left leg back, right leg forward. So lots of things that you can do. This left knee has been tweaky, like I've said like 1,000 times today. Let me see how it feels when I'm in this half heroes pose. If that feels okay, then we'll keep going. If it starts to feel real funky, you can roll up a blanket and put it in between your calf and your hamstring. That provides a little bit of space for your knee. For some reason, yeah, I'm going to lift myself up. I'm not really falling over that much today, but having it be that tight in my left knee is not super happy. So I'm just lifting myself up to give that left knee a little bit of love. And forward fold. Nice. Okay, let's come out of this. Move your stuff out of the way. Lifting yourself up. Vinyasa. Now we're going to come into the second series poses. So inhale, we're going to look between our hands. Exhale, slow with control. Jump forward. We're coming into what's called Pashasana. It's the first posture of the second series. So ultimately what it is you're kind of in this low crouch position, and you're trying to bind around both of your knees. So I've got some pretty thick legs. I think I've touched my fingers a handful of times in this life. It's really funny when I'm practicing with Manju, he's like, don't even bother, just go between your legs. But I have life goals, so eventually I will be able to do this and bind around both of them. But here's some options. So I've got this block. You can put the block behind you on your heels. That provides a little bit of stability so that you're not as worried about falling, which might allow your body to relax a little bit more so you can twist. This is the only pose where you start out twisting to the left. So you notice I had to get the knees away from me, get the real estate out of the way, and then I reach around and behind. So if I had a strap, which is my husband's belt, but apparently my children have run off with it, I would use the strap. So since I don't have a strap, I'm just going to bind around this first closest knee. That's my left knee, looking over the left shoulder. Now, you don't have to bind. You could also bind around the right knee. That's a little bit easier. You can also just plant that right hand on the outside of that left knee rather, and reach like this. It's all optional. What's that saying? It's all gravy, right? Take your vinyasa. We're going to do the other side. So, jumping back up with control. Remember, if you need the help, you can use the block. This time I'm going to demonstrate with the towel so you can see both ways. All it is providing your body a little bit of stability. So when your body feels stable, when your body feels safe, it'll open up a little bit more. It's more willing to do what you ask it to do if it's not freaking out, right? So, belly's in. Got to get the stuff out of the way. Since I don't have a strap, I'm just going to bind around this right knee. And I don't know if you heard, that was my shoulder popping. It felt pretty good. Nice. All right. So releasing this, you're going to come up, remove your stuff, and then we're going to take a vinyasa. I'm going to just play with jumping up because I haven't done it yet today. Not required. That's just one of those, I keep saying life goals. I've said that like 3 times in 5 minutes. Okay. Jump through to seated. Now, this is a super fun one. It goes back to that half heroes pose we just did, but instead of forward folding over the extended leg, we're going to bring the left leg up to us. So, bend that right knee. Did you see how I had to like twist the calf out of the way? That's because Mama's got meaty legs. Okay, so I'm for some reason super cockeyed today. This is not, every day is different. It's awesome. That's the beauty of a daily practice. You see what's going on. So I'm wrapping up a towel to put it underneath my left hip. That's just because I felt really unstable and like I was the Leaning Tower of Pisa. So steps 1 is to just kind of get here and to not hit yourself. Step 2, you're going to try to grab that foot. If you can bind around it. So I'm grabbing the left wrist with my right hand. Manju says it doesn't matter which hand binds which. There's a little bit of confusion about that in the Ashtanga world. So I'm just grabbing the left hand out of habit. So you can hang out here, or you can bend the elbows, bringing that left foot, left shin up to your nose. So if your left knee is bent, that's okay. If you're doing this, that's okay. If you're hanging out here and redoing Tirying Mukha Eka, that's that one that we just did from the first series, also okay. Your benefits of the pose are all happening. This is really great for the knees. It's helping to build and maintain some mobility in the knees. And my knees just today so happen to be not wanting to be mobile, which is probably a good thing that I'm doing this particular series of postures. All right, let's jump through again. I did not tuck the cord through my shirt, so that's super awesome. You can tell I'm really new to this whole sharing my practice with the World Wide Web. Okay, so I've got this beach towel underneath the right butt cheek. I've got that there because For some reason, my knees are just not loving me today. So it's helping to lift me up, taking some of the pressure off my left knee. You can hang out right here. You can fold forward like we did in with the Yang, or you can bring that right knee up, give that right knee a hug. You're going to feel this a little bit more in that left knee. Or you can try to bind. You can grab hold of the foot. You can bind, yogi's choice. So option 1, bind. Here's another option. So this is like my tighter side. So you'll notice when I try to bring this leg up, I can't quite do it quite as well. Oh man, yoga means union, right? So we are working on bringing our bodies into union, and that might mean between sides. Every day is different, and each side is different. Totally okay. All right, let's come out of this. Take your vinyasa, move your stuff. Awesome. Okay, so here's the fun part. Here's where we start doing some back bends. Let's come down to a high plank. This is just a little bit of abs extra credit. Slow like molasses. Move yourself all the way down. Bakasana pose. Frog. So those of you that have been like big yin fans, or even some of the hot yoga and vinyasa, frog in Ashtanga is completely different than frog in those classes. So I'm going to demonstrate one leg at a time first, and then I'll demonstrate both. So you bring that right foot in. I'm using my right hand to push that foot down towards my right butt cheek. I'm grabbing hold of the big toe with my big and middle fingers and lifting my right elbow up. So do you see how my shoulder went open, close? Bakasana 1. My left hand's just acting like a shelf right here to help hold me up. That's modification for one leg at a time. Here it is with the left. I've got my right hand out in front to provide some stability. Left hand brings that left heel towards the right butt cheek. I'm going to grab hold of the big toe with my peace fingers, rotate my shoulder from going out to in, watch my elbow go up high, and now there's pressure on the outside of my, on the outside of my left foot. Now let's do both sides. So if you're struggling through both sides, keep doing it. Try to hold 5 breaths on each side. Now I'm going to demonstrate both sides. So this is a posture that I have not mastered. My knees will love me for it one day as I continue to work on it. So I'm grabbing hold of my feet, got hold of the big toes with my peace fingers, rotating the shoulders forward. That's going to bring the elbows up and help me to round my elbows up higher and my hands to the appropriate place on the feet. Pushing down, lifting up. Now even here, lengthen through the tailbone. One more. Nice. Without slingshotting it down, come out of this. Do what you need to do. Forgive yourself. Push down. Woo! Downward facing dog. Now let's come back up to plank. Slow as molasses. Move yourself down. Okay, locust pose. Hands out, down to the side of your body. Your feet are together. Channel your inner little mermaid. Your palms are down. They can be here on the mat, or you can lift them up a little bit if you want. Shalabhasana. Inhale, lengthen through the tailbone. Lift those feet up. Lift your chest up. Really working that posterior chain, so your hammies, your glutes, your back muscles, really getting everything on fire. This also helps to improve creativity. My chiropractor told me that. All right, let's come out of this. You can technically go straight into Shalabhasana again, but since I'm really working on some strength, I'm going to go ahead and do another yoga push-up. So really strong through the legs, lengthen through the tailbone, bellies in, shoulders and elbows back, push up, and then slow back down. Okay, second Shalabhasana. So now your hands, fingertips are in line with your chest, elbows squeezing in, feet channeling that little inner mermaid. Hello, Ariels. Elbows back, inhale, lift up, chest is up. Your hands can be down if they want. You can lift them up, squeeze those elbows in, lift those feet up. Head is up higher. So this is like tummy time for adults, right? One more. Oh man, let's go ahead and come out of this. I needed a windshield for that one. Ground down through the big toes. All of the toes are pushing into the mat. Quads are coming up off the mat because they're so engaged. Elbows back and in, bellies in. Inhale, let's come up. Downward facing dog. Nice. So you might have to wiggle yourself around to forgive yourself for this. So now we're coming into Dhanurasana. I had to move my block out of the way because when we roll over, that might have gotten in the way. Inhale, high plank. Slowly lower to the ground. Now, since I have a microphone, I do not think that I'm going to roll over side to side. So we're just going to do a Dhanurasana, and we might just do Dhanurasana twice. Typically, you do Dhanurasana, then you roll from side to side. But with the microphone, I don't know how that would be working. So Dhanurasana, grab hold of those ankles. You can grab hold of the feet. You could do one side at a time. Here's one side. You kick into the hand and lift up. So I'm going to demonstrate Dhanurasana. So again, I'm grabbing hold of my ankles. If you can't grab your ankles, just grab hold of your feet. Try to squeeze those knees together. Inhale, lift yourself up. See if you can bring your knees up any higher, your heels up any higher. Awesome. All right, come out of this. Let's windshield wiper for a second. Typically, you would do a vinyasa, so let's go ahead and do it. Ground down, push up. Ooh, down dog, just to give your back a little break. Back to high plank. Slowly lower to low. All the way down to the ground. So this is where you would do another Dhanurasana and you go side to side. I'm not going side to side today. We're just going to do a Dhanurasana. So grab hold of those ankles. Squeeze those knees a little bit closer together. When you are ready, we're going to think to ourselves, we can do this. The best Dhanurasana of the day. Lengthen through the tailbone. Lift up. Oh my goodness, that was awesome, guys. Let's windshield here. Whoo-hoo. Okay. Ground down through those feet. Engage through the quads. Tailbones lengthening down. Push down to the mat on either side of the chest. Let's lift ourselves up. Could you tell that was my way of like stalling that push-up? Whew. So now we're going to move into camel pose. We're going to do camel, and I might talk us through the other two, but I'll just talk us through it. I won't have to insist on any of the full expressions or whatever, because these back bends can get pretty tough. So camel pose. I want to talk about camel pose just a little bit, and if you're at home, I highly recommend you get up against the wall. That's a super great way to know what's going on with camel. What you're going to see a lot in yoga classes is folks do this to get into their camel. They're like, booty's back, basically sit on their heels, and then grab their heels, and then they push their butts forward. So if you see, my booty is way, way back. This is not, I shouldn't say it's not camel. That's not the fullest expression of camel. So the way that you can do camel, Ustrasana, and check in with yourself to see how you're handling it is you come up against the wall and you really press those hips up into the wall. So your hands are in your yoga pockets. They can be down or up. They can be, I don't really care. Your toes are down. They can also be, the toes can be down like this, or your feet can be flat on the mat. Toes down is a little bit easier as I push my hips forward to grab those heels. You see how my hips are pressing into the mat? I have to move my mat forward because these hardwood floors are not nice to my knees. Oh my gosh. Okay, so step 2, we're pushing into the mat, pushing into the wall, and my feet are flat, and I'm going to try to keep my hips on the wall, elbows squeezing in, rotating those shoulders forward. You'll find that that miraculously helps to open up the shoulders, okay? So push those hips in to the wall, and then grab those ankles. You can grab one or both. 5 breaths. Now, lengthen through the tailbone, belly comes in to lift you up. Let's go ahead and take a vinyasa. This is like a sneaky way of giving your low back a little bit of a break. It's an awesome way. Oh my gosh, I totally feel like I'm turning into Bob Ross with his like pretty little trees, and I'm singing weird songs. Oh my goodness, my poor husband lives with this every day. Okay, bring those knees down. Hips width distance apart. We're going to try Laghu Virasana. So if camel pose is like super intense and you're like, I don't know about this, then you can keep practicing camel pose. It's really great for you. The next pose is Laghu. I like to shorten them because they're all Sanskrit words, and that means that they're super fun to pronounce. I'm just kidding. Laghu Virasana. So The difference here is where hands are reaching towards the calves, sort of like up the calf by the knees. You still want to have this heart opening and this chest opening. Whew. So inhale, reaching those hands back as you push those hips forward. The head's going to come down to the mat, elbows are going to bend. So my hands are grabbing hold of the calf, the top of my head's onto the mat. My hips are still reaching forward. They've come back, so go and push down with your hands. I'll demonstrate that with my Kapotasana because I can't do that out of Kapotasana. So options with Kapotasana. That's the next and final back bend that we're going to do today. This is a really great way to practice it on your own at your home. You turn yourself away from the wall. Feet and knees are about hips width distance apart. I like to say we channel our inner John Travolta from Grease. You remember this, like how he was always like slicking his hair back? That might also show my age. So we're gonna channel our inner like greaser a little. Isn't that S.E. Hinton in The Outsiders? So grease your hair back. So what that does is it keeps your elbows in, right? So that helps to get the proper placement for the elbows. Because what likes to happen is people like to come out wide and then move their shoulders in, and that's so much more difficult to actually get into the posture. So if you grease or style it up and keep those elbows in as you reach those hands back, you're basically set up right where you need to be. So how far away from the wall? It depends. So you can start out really close to the wall, especially if you're working on these back bends with your feet touching the wall. Have that greaser thing where you're pushing your hands and reach back for the wall. Oh, look, I touched it. I touched it. Now push yourself away. Walk your hands down, push yourself away. I'm a little too close. So I'm going to scoot myself back from the wall some. And again, if you have a partner, maybe one day I'll do this again with a partner. It's a really cool assist when you have a partner and you walk your hands down their shins. And Ruger's not the best yoga partner. So channel your inner greaser style. Really try to keep those hips forward. Really keep the tailbone lengthening down. That's going to provide the space that you need for the low back. Really keep the belly engaged. So you see how it's almost like I'm squeezing it in? That's because that's what I'm doing. Channel that inner John Travolta. Reach back. Maybe you touch the wall. Push yourself out. Walk yourself down. And then your hands are reaching back towards your toes. Maybe you touch your toe. Woohoo, I touched your toe. Maybe you can touch your, what is this, the balls of your feet. Eventually, you're going to touch your heels. I'm not quite there yet. The forearms will be resting on the mat. All right, to come out of this, I'm pushing up against the wall. Eventually, I'll be strong enough in the core and in the front of my legs to be able to do this. But can you guys see a trend here? My core. All right, so now we're going to do a couple of second series twists. These are what Manju suggests doing if you struggle with the Marichi asanas from the primary series. The reason is they can be a little bit less intense, so I'm going to face you to demonstrate these. So step one is you bring that right foot back like a half hero's pose. That left knee comes up. Oh my gosh. And then we're working on this half lotus. So you can cross it, or you can bring that left heel up towards your belly button. Nice. Okay, so do you see how I kind of had to get myself situated? Totally okay. Left hand's going to reach around behind and try to grab that left foot. If that's not happening today, you can hold on to your right elbow, okay, and just turn this way. So my left hand's grabbing that left foot, right hand's reaching around, coming to the outside of that left knee, palm down. Look over the left shoulder. Okay, let's come out of this. I'm going to do a vinyasa. I need to build some more heat. The vinyasas are great for keeping the Agni up. Okay, let's do the other side. Left foot comes back like a half hero's pose. Right foot. Now, if that half lotus isn't happening, you can hang out here. I'm working on that lotus, and it's okay for right now. I'm going to grab that right toe. Remember, if you can't grab it, you can hang out here. You might be surprised and be able to grab it with this setup. Left hand comes down to the outside of that right knee, palm to the mat, looking over that right shoulder. Awesome. Let's do this. Let's come out of this, shake it out, take a vinyasa. Normally you wouldn't be turning from side to side. I just did it so you guys could see. Okay, so now let's do the next one. This one is kind of like a good modification from Marichi C and D. So that right knee bends in, the right heel comes to the outside of the left butt cheek, basically. Left foot crosses over the right, toes facing forward. Now, this could be where you stay. Like hanging out right here, you're going to feel this along the IT band, the left piriformis. What you're working on doing, and again, women, we have real estate that not all men have. You get that stuff out of the way. You work on bringing that right elbow to the outside of that left shin. Now look, my left knee is almost to my right armpit. It basically is. Right hand is grabbing hold of that left foot. Left hand's grabbing around behind, trying to grab the right inner thigh. Gaze over the left shoulder. Okay, let's come out. Do a vinyasa. Let's do the other side. So left heel in, right heel over. Remember, you see this? That's like Mexican food. I used to have a client that said, it's all the Mexican food. Yeah, if you live in the South, there's a plethora of Mexican food, and it's awesome. Okay, grab the outside of that, the inside of that right foot. Press that hand down. Right hand is reaching around behind. That left heel's to the outside of the right hip. The right hand is trying to grab the inner thigh of the left leg, looking over the right shoulder, thinking to yourself, I can do this. Awesome. Okay, let's release this. Take a vinyasa. I don't even know what time it is. So let's do a couple of more poses. We're going to do crow, and then we're going to work on pincha, just a smidge, and then we'll move to the last few poses of the day. So the next pose we're going to do is crow pose, Bakasana. So how we're going to get there is you're eventually going to be jumping into crow. So I'm not quite there yet. Woohoo! So we all get to grow together, right? So if you don't have your crow yet, your hands are planted down onto the mat. You have to shimmy those feet close together, lift the hips up high, bend the elbows down and back, and you set your knees high onto the triceps. And then eventually your balance. One of the easier ways that I've found to get into this pose, and it's probably what you've seen online a little bit more for newbies, is your legs are actually holding the outsides of the triceps. That engages the inner thighs a little bit more. So your legs are on the outsides of the triceps, squeezing those elbows in. And that can be a little bit easier way to get into your first crow. And honestly, that's probably how you're going to land when you start to jump forward. So when we're super awesome and we're super controlled, we're going to be able to slowly land on the back of our triceps. I've seen it happen. I'm not there yet. But when you're working on it, you land sort of on the outside, squeezing those elbows in. So let's inhale and let's come into a crow pose. Now let's jump back. And vinyasa. So how on earth did I jump back? In my head, I'm thinking, shoot my butt up. Butt towards the sky, butt towards the sky, butt towards the sky, and then the feet magically have space to get back there. So let's do one more crow. With Ashtanga, you want a straight arm crow. So that's more like a crane in a flow class. So let me see if I can jump and go any slower. Anybody's guess? Woo, not so great today. Working on straighten the arms, heels up. Now jump back. And come out of this. Woohoo! Okay, so we're just going to do a prep for pincha. I'm not super awesome at pincha, just going to be honest. Working on it. And so what is pincha? It's a forearm stand. What you have to do is get a whole bunch of strength here and here. These are these lats, the triceps, shoulder girdle, all that stuff. And I'm so like flexy in my back, I have a hard time getting it stacked. So I'm always hollow body, whatever. So just do the pose to the best of your ability. That means if you're up on your forearms and your feet are on the wall, that's awesome. You got up. That means if you're in dolphin pose, which I'll demonstrate, that's also awesome. You work to where your limits are, okay? So don't judge yourself negatively if you can do something or you can't do something. And don't judge me either, because I'll be the first to tell you, I'm not super awesome. Yoga is the most humbling practice. It's probably like golf. You'll never, ever, ever master it. So here I am in dolphin pose. It's a super great shoulder stretch. We did this in the last video, those dolphin push-ups. I'm a huge fan of dolphin push-ups because it helps to build a whole bunch of strength in the shoulders. And then once you get to the point where you can do some dolphin push-ups, I'm going to show you the next thing that I'm working on. So here when we come into pincha, you can try to kick off slowly and maybe use the wall. Maybe you don't. Check me out. I can't get my butt down. Oh, I guess that would be lengthening up towards the ceiling. Okay, so here's some super cool things that you can do as you're working your pincha. Bring your feet to the wall and try to do pincha push-ups. And then eventually you'll do one-legged pincha push-ups. And then maybe you'll do no-legged pincha push-ups. Woohoo! Okay. Holy mother. Let's come out of this. Okay, so you notice that my belly was sticking out a whole bunch. That is what it is. I'm working on it. Let's take our vinyasa. Okay, so here's where we're going to come into the last couple postures where we're going to really work on the abs. This will be the couple of advanced postures that we'll do. But before we do, we're going to do boat pose because you know what? I forgot to do boat pose earlier. So boat poses, you never want to ever skip them. Boat number 1, here. I call them boat number 1s. It's just modifications. 1.5, 2, boat. Let's sing. Yeah, I can't talk when I'm sitting here trying to do them, right? Push down, lift something. Let's do it again. Left over the right, push down, lift something. All right, do it again. Ooh, I'm rounding. I've never done this with a camera where I can see it until whatever day that was, Saturday, right foot over the left. So it's interesting. You guys get to see all of my bad habits. Oh, that's so awesome. Let's share it with the world. Left foot over the right, push down, lift something. All right, let's do it one more time. Right foot over the left, push down, lift something. All right, let's take a vinyasa. Okay, so here's where we're going to work on the third series posture for today. We might do 2. I was thinking we'd do 3, but I'm feeling a little beat. Okay, so inhale, high plank. Let's hold this for a few breaths to build some heat. Vashisthasana on the right. Ground down through the right. Ground down through the right, the outside of that right foot. Left hand reaches up, gaze towards the left fingertips. Remember, right knee can always come down. So, options, you can stay here or work on grabbing that left big toe and reaching that left heel up towards the sky. All right, let's come out of this. Take a vinyasa. Oh, nice. Okay, other side high plank. Build some heat. Left side plank. Remember, left knee here, or left feet stacked, or grab that right big toe. Woo, losing it. Nice. Oh, let's come out of that. That is totally my harder side. Okay. Now we're coming into Visvamistrasana. Visvamistrasana. This is a super big hip opener and abdominal worker. We've got lots of things that we can do. We can do the side plank, or we can work on just opening up the hips with like some lizards and dragons. Lizard or dragon. So you bring that right foot forward and just really hang out here, opening up the hips and all this kind of stuff. If you want to work towards Visva, you have to really shimmy that right shoulder underneath that right knee. And you plant that hand down underneath the right foot. Come over to you're pressing down, the left foot's flat to the mat. Right hand is pressing into the mat, right foot's reaching forward, left hand's coming up. Woohoo! Look, Mom, only one hand. Okay, ground that left foot, shoot that right leg back, take a vinyasa. Oh, I didn't demonstrate holding the leg. I'll hold my foot on another day. Okay, let's do that again. Left foot forward. Hang out here in dragon if you're feeling it. You can come up. You can work on the Visva. Left shoulder in underneath that left knee. Plant that left hand down right behind the left foot. As you shimmy that left foot up, forward, off the wall, mat, and see how my right foot is planted. That's what's giving me enough oomph to get up. And eventually I'll be able to look up. Woohoo, look, Mom. All right, ground down, shoot that left leg back, take your vinyasa. Woohoo. Awesome, good job, everybody. Now we're going to come into the closing series. So that's just back bends, right? Back bend, shoulder stand, headstand. I'm going to start out with just one regular back bend, and then I might drop back a couple times. Really depends. We've done a lot of back bends today. So ground those feet down. Make sure you can touch the heels. Hands come up, fingertips facing the shoulders. Try to squeeze those elbows in. Lengthen the tailbone down. Push down, lift up. Nice. Come on down. You can go right back up into it if you want. I'm going to work on a drop back. So you guys will witness me if I forever just fall down and hit my head. So feet are forward. I have to open up my feet pretty wide. Lengthen through the tailbone. Press the hips forward. My teacher, Donna, who has passed away, she taught the traditional way, which I'm still not strong enough to do it, where you come up, arms straight, lengthen, 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 lengthen. Oh, maybe I'm going to do it. Look at that. Woohoo! That's the first time I've done that with straight arms the whole time. Hallelujah. Okay, now let's try to jump up. Jump up, and by jumping up, I mean coming up. So I have to kind of round forward, ground forward a little bit, and I've never done this while talking, so catch your breath, and push down into the feet, lift up. Woohoo! Party time. Okay, let's do that one more time. I'm going to demonstrate with the bent arms this time for two reasons. One, I'm tired. Two, I want you guys to see it. Okay, bend those knees. Shift the hips forward. Lengthen through that tailbone. Bend the knees. Here. What is that here? It's like prayer pose, nose, forehead. Reach it back. Set it down. Nice, guys. So you can also walk your hands down the mat. Not the mat. Down the wall. That's honestly how I learned. And here's the thing. That is scary as a mofo. I'm not going to lie. It took me a long time to get to the point where I was okay with dropping back. There's a lot of fear there, right? Like letting go and letting your head go to the abyss. Holy mackerel. Nice forward fold. Let's vinyasa. This is where you really like to be in the studio, at least I do, because then somebody will come and give you this super juicy assist where they're like helping to ground through your hips, helping to lengthen your spine. Oh, since I don't have that, we'll just enjoy Paschimottanasana. Okay. So today, or yesterday, or one day recently, somebody asked about shoulder stand and plow pose. Full disclosure, I hate shoulder stand. I'm breastfeeding, and I got a lot of real estate, and I don't like it. Maybe when Caleb weans, I'll be more into shoulder stand. I don't remember it being a problem pre-kids, and now it's this huge discomfort. So I'm going to demonstrate some modifications. So if shoulder stand hurts your neck, don't do it. If it hurts your neck and you want to try to do it, I suggest getting a big beach towel like I have, and I've folded it a few times. And this is going to go underneath your shoulders, lining this up at the top of your shoulders. But first, I also want to demonstrate something else. I'm going to demonstrate a wall-assisted shoulder stand. So this really helps you to get the strength that you need to get yourself up off of and hold yourself off. So get yourself off the wall, but also so that you're not looking like a big L when you do this. So my towel is in line with my shoulders. This just provides a little bit of lift and relief for the neck. So my feet are flat up against the wall. and your hands are down beside your hips. You're going to push into the wall and lift the hips. Now pay attention to my chin. My chin is lifting towards the wall, right? That's going to maintain the space behind my neck. Now see how I help push my hips forward with my hands? You can do that with your glutes, or you can shimmy, shimmy, shimmy those shoulders up and underneath you as you keep pushing the feet into the wall. Nice. And I'm using my hands to help push into the wall. Now I'm going to bring my hands to my low back. See if I can push my back forward any more. Be mindful of that neck, lifting one foot off the wall and then the other foot. Now, if at any time you feel discomfort, back off, right? So, I'm feeling okay right now, other than the fact that my boobs are basically keeping me from being able to breathe. Am I allowed to say that on the internet? So, feet are reaching up, chin is reaching up. So from here, you're going to come into plow pose. So I have to slowly, using my abdominal muscles, you see how my hips come back as my feet come forward, and then my feet touch the mat. At that point in time, that's when you let go of those hips, and you go behind you and grab hold of your hands underneath your back, or I guess onto the mat. So if your feet don't touch the mat, stay here with your hands on your hips and just letting gravity work. Now, if this feels funky, come out. You're working, opening into the hamstrings, the back body, that posterior chain. Now we're going to come into deaf man's pose, where you squeeze your ears with your knees. I wish I could get my knees to the mat, but I can't. One day. Chin is still reaching up high. And I know I'm rushing these. Sorry, guys. All right, let's come back to our shoulder stand. And if you've got the Padmasana, go for it. That's that lotus pose. If you don't, you can come into a half. Now we're coming into this balancing, this upward facing Padmasana. Trying to balance here. Use your abs, use your hands. Chin is up still. There is space beneath my neck, so my neck is not all on the mat. Here I'm coming into Pidasana. Squeeze the knees in. I have no idea how this sounds with the microphone. Sorry, guys. Now you're eventually going to bind around your knees. Super tight lotus. Let's come back up to shoulder stand. And then we're going to roll out. Normally you would roll out from that Pindasana, but if you notice, I'm too close to the wall, so I can't roll out from there. So let's come into a nice Matsunjasana, fish pose. You can do it the flow way, which is elbows down, hands underneath your sacrum, lifting your feet up. Or you can do it with a half lotus, which I'm going to try, but my knee is being funky, so I'm not sure I'm going to like it. So up on my elbows, top of the head on the mat, grabbing those feet and letting it go. Now we're going to let go of those feet, channel that boat pose, feet reaching forward, hands reaching forward, building some strength. Awesome. Let's come out of this. This is where you would chakrasana, and I am not chakrasaning today because I will land in my rocking chair. So I'm just going to come forward, vinyasa, and it's headstand time. Traditional headstand, you've got your forearms down on the mat, clasping your hands. Remember the top of your head, thumb in between your eyebrow, middle finger touches at the top of the head. That's what sets on the mat. So if you are at home and you're working on the headstand, I suggest you come up against the wall. And honestly, you're going to have some weight in your neck, especially starting out. So those of you that are coming from a place where you have a neck injury, I wouldn't suggest jumping up. I don't think you should jump up ever, to be honest, but so many people want to get up and on the headstand, and so they're like, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. So me personally, I don't want you to jump up. I want you to be able to use control the whole time. So my hands are pressing together, like clasped together. My elbows are shoulders width distance apart. I'm going to plant my head in between those forearms, right? And so eventually there's not going to be any weight in the top of the head at all. But when you're first starting out, you're only going to be able to, right? So let's just be kind to ourselves. It might take a little bit more time to slowly work, maybe one foot up, set it down, other foot up, set it down. Now look how my butt is reaching for the wall. Now, did you see how my legs just came up all on their own? That's a matter of physics, okay? Like, that's a fulcrum effect. So I didn't have to jump at all, and I was still in my headstand. So I suggest walking those feet in, reaching the butt towards the wall. And if your butt hits the wall, who cares? Now you see how easy it is to get up? And there was no jumping at all. And it was just all using gravity and the fulcrum effect. I mean, even if your butt is not as big as mine, I promise you, you get your butt close enough to the wall, like behind you, see how it's reaching back. In order to pike down, that butt has to reach back towards the wall. That creates the counterbalance that you need. So this is all physics. This is not as many muscles. Now as it gets below parallel, that's muscles. And then let's do a nice child's pose. Woohoo! All right, guys. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you learned something new. I hope that it was fun. I hope that the introduction to yoga, Ashtanga yoga as a therapy was fun, interesting. I like it. It kind of creates something new. I love Ashtanga, but sometimes I don't want to do just the primary series, or I don't want to just work on the second series. I like mixing them all up, and I love how when you come at it from that approach, it provides variety, it provides therapy, even though we're not supposed to use that word. Like, it just makes it kind of fun, and it also helps you find out where your weaknesses are, which I personally love. So if you hang out in primary series forever and ever and ever, then you're only going to be backbending at the very end, at the closing sequence. By then you're like freaking exhausted, right? So if you mix it up and you get forward, backwards, abs, all of that stuff, it'll keep you fresh. It'll keep you, I think, healthier. It'll keep it a lot more fun. And come on, like, who doesn't want the freedom and the liberty in their yoga practice, right? Like, I do. So I hope you had fun. Don't forget to take your Shavasana. I'm going to go take my Shavasana right now, but I won't make you guys watch me Shavasana. So until next time, I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something new. Namaste.